4 a.m. It's dark, it's quiet, and then you feel it. A little pat on the face, a meow, maybe a full-on parkour session across your body. If you have a cat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got a furry little alarm clock with a snooze button that just doesn't work. So let's get into why this happens and, way more importantly, how you can finally reclaim your mornings.
Does that sound just a little bit familiar? Yeah, you are so not alone. This is a real comment from a real cat owner, and it just perfectly captures that feeling, right? That mix of total frustration and, let's be honest, you kind of have to laugh. It's a universal struggle for us cat people. So, to solve this pre-dawn mystery, we actually have to get inside our cat's head. And I promise, they are not doing this just to mess with you. Their behavior is driven by thousands and thousands of years of pure instinct. So let's crack that code. You've probably heard this a million times. Cats are nocturnal, right? They're these little creatures of the night that come alive while we're trying to sleep. But what if I told you that's not exactly true? The reality is actually way more specific, and it's our first huge clue. Okay, here's the word of the day: crepuscular. It's a fancy term, but all it means is that cats are hardwired to be most active at dawn and dusk. So why then? Well, because that's when they're natural prey. Think birds, mice, all those little critters are also most active. It is prime hunting time. So that 4 a.m. wake-up call isn't random at all. It's instinct kicking in. So when you boil it all down, there are really 4 big reasons this is happening. First, like we just said, is that primal crepuscular instinct. Second, they're just plain hungry. I mean, a cat's stomach is only about the size of a ping pong ball, so of course they get hungry after a few hours. Third, simple boredom. They've been napping all day, so they're fully recharged and ready to go while you're not. And finally, and this one might sting a little, we've accidentally taught them that this whole routine works. And get this, it's not just about their ancient instincts, it's also about our modern habits. A recent study showed this perfectly. It found that indoor cats were way less active at night when all the artificial lights were off. It just goes to show that something as simple as leaving a light on can mess with their natural cycle and encourage them to be up and about. Okay, so we get the why. Now let's get to the good stuff, the how. And the good news is you can absolutely do this. You can reset your cat's internal clock. It's going to take some consistency, but trust me, it's possible. Here's the plan. This right here is probably the most effective strategy of all. You have to mimic their natural predatory cycle. See, for a cat, being satisfied isn't just about a full belly, it's about the thrill of the hunt. So right before you go to bed, you hunt with them. Give them 10 to 15 minutes of really good, intense playtime. Then, right after, you give them their final meal. A cat that is successfully hunted and eaten is biologically programmed to do one thing: groom, and then pass out for a nice, long sleep. I love how the famous cat behaviorist Jackson Galaxy explains this. He calls it the no-yes method. The yes is everything you do before bed to set them up for success. The playtime, the late meal, making things cozy. You're giving them everything they need. Then, and this is the crucial part, when they start their nonsense at 4 a.m., the no has to be absolute. You give them nothing. No food, no pets, no yelling, don't even make eye contact. You have to become the most boring object in the entire universe. You can also stack the deck in your favor by making their environment super sleep-friendly. Blackout curtains are amazing because the morning sun is a huge trigger for their internal clock. A warm bed is also huge. A cat's ideal body temperature is way higher than ours. And for those bored kitties, puzzle feeders or hiding a few treats can give them a quiet little mission to focus on that doesn't involve waking you up. Okay, let's get into these specifics. We're going to talk about some tools you can use, and we absolutely have to cover some critical red flags to watch for, because sometimes this whole thing isn't actually a behavior issue at all. So, can a robot buy you more sleep? It sounds like a joke, right? But honestly, the answer is 1,000% yes. In fact, a little bit of technology might just be your single best weapon in this fight. An automatic feeder is a total game changer, and here's why. It completely breaks the connection in their brain between you waking up and breakfast happening. The cat learns to listen for the sound of that machine, not for you stirring in bed. You can set it for just before your own alarm and then slowly push that time later and later. The machine becomes the source of all good things in the morning, and you become irrelevant. It's beautiful. Okay, please listen carefully because this is so important. If this early wake-up call is a new thing, or if it suddenly gets way more intense, or you notice other changes, like they're meowing constantly or they can't seem to get comfortable, you need to see a vet. Things like hyperthyroidism, dental pain, even arthritis could be the real reason. You have to rule out a medical issue first, full stop. And sometimes the real reason is just, well, it's astonishing. One person shared the story about how their cats were waking them up constantly and they were getting so frustrated. Turns out, the cats were reacting because the owner's breathing was stopping over and over again. They were actually alerting them to undiagnosed sleep apnea. As the owner said, they went from being jerks to little service kitties. It's just a powerful reminder to always wonder what they might really be trying to tell us.
All right, let's bring it all home. We've covered the why, the how, and the what ifs. Now let's put together the final pieces of the puzzle so you can finally get a peaceful night's sleep.
Now, I have to give you a quick warning. There's this thing in behavior training called an extinction burst. Basically, when you first start ignoring the 4 a.m. nonsense, your cat is going to think, this used to work. Maybe I just need to try harder. So the meowing might get louder, the face pats might turn into slaps. This is normal. You have to push through it. Do not give in, because consistency is everything.
So here it is, your 4-step plan for sleeping in. Number 1, engage them every single evening with that hunt, eat, sleep cycle. Number 2, ignore the morning wake-up calls 100% of the time. 3, automate that morning breakfast to break the connection with you. And 4, always observe for any medical red flags.
So the next time that furry little alarm clock goes off, instead of just feeling frustrated, try to get curious. What are they really trying to say? Are they hungry? Are they bored? Or are they just being a cat? Or could they be trying to tell you something even more important? Understanding the message is the first step to finally getting some sleep.